One thing we tend to hear often in times of sorrow and loss is that death is a part of life, but that doesn't make grieving the loss of a loved one any easier. And what should you do when someone else is to blame for that loss? It could be grounds for a wrongful death claim. And here now to explain what that means is attorney Paul Hernandez from Kalfus Nachman. Paul, welcome back to the Hampton Road Show. We were talking about wrongful death. What is that exactly?
Yeah, wrongful death is the loss of a loved one or a family member as a result of somebody else's negligence or carelessness. It's not the normal course of events when somebody gets sick normally and passes away in the normal cycle of life. It's usually something that's unexpected, and it has to be to a family member or a loved one.
What are some of the common causes of wrongful death?
Well, I mean, one of the biggest ones are automobile accidents. Right. Medical malpractice is another issue. Believe it or not, slip and falls or workplace accidents, it happens on too. And sometimes they're intentional, criminal acts as well.
Okay, and this is where it gets a little tricky. Who makes the claim, and how important does that lawyer become in a wrongful death case?
Yeah, interesting. You have to be a beneficiary or a family member. And believe it or not, there's different classes of that. Usually somebody has to qualify on the estate of that decedent in the circuit court of the location of where they last lived. And that's a legal proceeding. You have to go to the courthouse. You have to prove that the person passed away. You have to prove that you're related in some way, fashion, or form, or you have some relation to the estate. Sometimes you have to have a bond. You are now the figurehead for that estate to make a claim. Now, this is different than a normal estate where someone passes away and there's a will or they don't have a will. This is a specific instance where you're appointed on behalf of the estate to make a claim for that wrongful death.
Now, this is a very serious subject, and if that happens, I think people are quick to say, you know what, this is a wrongful death, we need to sue somebody. However, how do they go about it? And it could be somebody else in the family saying, you know what, you need to get a lawyer right now.
Right. The biggest part about it is this. It is absolutely 100% unexpected.
Right.
We live our lives, enjoying our lives on a daily basis as we do today, as we're here today, and all of a sudden we get that telephone call that we lost a loved one, whether it be from an automobile accident, medical malpractice, or whatever. And the point is, you have questions. People don't understand. They don't know what happens. It doesn't happen every day.
Right.
And what do? You have to talk to somebody, whether it's just to talk to them as a counselor to find out what to do. And that's what we do on a daily basis. So the point is, when that happens, it's important for you to contact an experienced attorney that understands, you know, the wrongful death, whether there actually is a claim, how to get qualified on the estate. And as we discussed in the past one time, you know, there are situations where we get a call from a girlfriend of the father of their child, and their husband died at work. And, excuse me, their boyfriend died at work. And they want to say, what are my rights? And I have to tell them, well, were you married? Well, no, but we were together for 20 years. We got 2 kids together. Well, I'm sorry. In Virginia, you don't have a claim. Your children have a claim, but you don't. But wait a minute. I've been with him. What about common law marriage? Well, not here in Virginia.
Right.
So, you know, it's very important that you talk to an experienced attorney to advise you when this unexpected event happens to your family.
And that is the takeaway message from this. If you have any more questions, you can contact Paul at Kalfus and Nachman at legalmatters.kalfusnachman.com. Give them a call on the Hurt line at 1-800-HURT-LINE. And don't forget, download the Kalfus and Nachman iPhone app. You never know when you're going to need it. Paul Hernandez, as always, good talking to you, my man.
Thank you, Chris.